Hi guys, John Bauernfein with Inside Indiana checking in from Champaign, Illinois and State Farm Center. I was here today for Indiana's 80-74 comeback victory over Illinois. It's Indiana's 14th win of the year. They moved to 14-4 and 4-1 in conference play. They are now tied along with Iowa and Wisconsin for second atop the Big Ten standings, just a half game behind Maryland, which actually comes to Assembly Hall Thursday night for 9 p.m. game. We'll get to that in a little bit. IU's led in scoring today with a tie for the team high in points 21 by both Troy Williams and James Blackman. The two combined to go 15 for 22. Went 8 for 9 free throws, pulled down 16 rebounds combined, and generally just had a huge impact on the game, as did other players coming off the bench, like Nick Zeisloft, who was really looking forward to this game, as he said afterwards, and as Crean said. Blackman and Troy were really the differences in this game. It was a really entertaining and topsy-turvy game. Basketball is always a game of runs, and teams are going to go on scoring runs no matter what. It's just what happens. But today was a little bit of an extreme, especially for Illinois, which started the game on a 14-3 run. Kendrick Nunn scored the game's first 9 points by hitting straight three-pointers for the first media timeout. So IU's trailing by 11 in the first half. Within the first few minutes of the game, actually go on a huge scoring run of their own and find themselves with just over 5 minutes left in the first half, up by 11, whereas they were down by 11 just like over 10 minutes, 10 minutes ago. But of course, Illinois comes back in the first half. It's tied 34 all late in the first half. Then Troy Williams gets two dunks, so IU leads by four entering the second half, and they open up on a good note. In the first 2 minutes 17 seconds, Blackman and Troy combine for 12 points. They go up 10 points, and then the offense really sputters. And this was one of the biggest turning points in the game, in my opinion. Not only did Illinois go on an 11-0 scoring run before IU answered, then they went on a 21-2 scoring run that lasted nearly 6 minutes, just over 5.5 minutes. Kendrick Nunn, had a game high 24 points, and in that stretch, he scored a lot of points. But Colin Hartman eventually stopped the run by hitting a three with 10 minutes left. But IU hadn't scored in nearly 7 minutes at that point, and so before Hartman hit the three, they were down 9. Really hadn't done much. He hits a three. They get a stop. Blackman hits a three. They start crawling their way back with 3 minutes left. Illinois, or 3 minutes 20 seconds left. Kendrick Nunn hits his sixth and final three of the game. He goes 6 for 10 from the three-point arc to give Illinois a 72-67 lead. From that point on, the final 3:20 of the game, IU finishes on a 13-2 run. And one of the biggest plays of that game was with a minute 24 left. IU was down one. Yogi goes up for a layup. It barely misses. Troy goes up with his left hand and kind of just leans his body and somehow gets the ball to go in. IU's all pumped up. The Hoosiers get a stop. Williams gets fouled. The board gets fouled. Hits two free throws, and that pretty much wrapped up the game for the Hoosiers. They end up winning 80-74. Like I said, and this is a really good win for the Hoosiers. Obviously, Illinois is not a top-flight Big Ten team. They don't have Rayvonte Rice right now. The loss puts them at 12-7 and 2-4 in conference play. But for the Hoosiers, this was I can't stress how much this win does for them. This win comes after, of course they beat Nebraska on the road to start Big Ten play, and then you have that debacle at Michigan State, which people were still kind of talking about after the game, asking Troy and James and Zeisloft about that game and had they finally moved on. And it seemed like they had. 80 points is a hell of a lot of points, especially when you go on scoring droughts for minutes at a time. I haven't, I don't know the exact number, but with that nearly 7 minute scoring drought in the second half, that when Illinois went on the 20-2 run, you could say that Indiana didn't score a basket for, I'd say, between 10 and 13 minutes for this game, which meant they scored 80 points in less than 30 minutes, which is really incredible. With Hannah Mosquera Pere out, IU earlier, or he dislocated his knee earlier in the week. On Monday, IU beat Penn State by 3 without him. Played a good game. It didn't necessarily look great at home against the Nittany Lions. Today was gonna thought it might have been a bigger factor with Illinois' Nana Egbu, the 6'11" center senior. Um, really good defender. Not a great scorer by any means, but clearly bigger than Colin Hartman, who was guarding him for much of the game. Egbu actually gets shut down completely by IU. Has 0 points, only 2 rebounds, and fouls out. That was really huge for IU, and this offense really hasn't, or this team, I should say, really hasn't felt um, any of the effects or like any lull without Hunter Mosquera Perea. Of course, 74 points to an average to all right Illinois offensive team isn't great. Illinois also did finish only with 22 points in the paint, which just goes to show how well they shot it today. And I don't know if that's probably a combination of shooting the ball really well plus IU's defense isn't the greatest. Um, but the Hoosiers were still able to pull this one out. And like I said earlier to start the video, Maryland comes to town Thursday for a 9 p.m. game, which you got to think Bloomington will be rocking for that one on Thursday night. So Melo, Trimble, Des Wells, and the whole lot come to Bloomington for what will be at least a game being played for a share of first place in the Big Ten. You got to think Assembly Hall will be rocking. Um, it's been noted that the turnout hasn't been great for some games this year, but with Big Ten playing full swing, with IU 4-1 in the conference, and with a nationally ranked team, top 15, if not closer to top 10, Maryland coming to town. They were 14 entering this past week, and they beat Michigan State by double digits yesterday. So I don't know where they'll be ranked, but they'll at least be top 15. Um, you know, Big Ten, first place on the line is going to be a huge game. So we were looking forward to that. And for Inside Indiana and John Valentine, I'm signing off from Champaign. Have a good Sunday, and for most likely you Hoosier fans that are also Colts fans, good luck against the Patriots.